DarkMatch. I'm TFS.
I'm Digi-Fox.
I'm Christopher Says.
And I'm Jingus. And as always, we are starting out with What's Iron Sheik Tweeting Now? And on 420, we have about a dozen to choose from, but this was my favorite. The Jonah Hill! I want to party with on the 420! I am the fucking man and legend, and put him in the camel clutch for all Jewish people!
Oh my god.
Your guess is as good as mine, folks.
What in the hell?
Yeah.
Classic Sheiky baby.
Jonah Hill.
Yeah, that guy's not relevant anymore.
Hey, I could have gone with the Andy Milonakis tweet, but that one was a lot shorter and more boring.
I think we should
Who
say
the hell wants to hear about Andy
Hey.
Milonakis? He's not relevant anymore.
I don't even know who Jonah Hill is.
Never
Well, I heard
mind.
Jonah, and you know what I thought of first? I wanted to kill Miley Cyrus again, but... What,
So-
I get that reference?
I thought of a guy and a big fish.
Alright, let's get
It's a
this done.
storm like we
All
haven't
right.
seen since 18 diggity.
Let's
Here we go with
this.
Impact.
Alright, Jingus is checked out again.
Yeah.
He's having flashbacks to that war he never fought in, so while he's recovering from that, we're gonna dive right into this week's episode of TNA Impact.
Yay.
Two horses for Sister Karen. What does that mean? What the fuck does
It's
that
a
mean?
reference
play on
to,
a movie and a book called Two Mules for Sister Sarah.
Yeah. So it's sort of there, but not really the
Yeah,
demographic.
man,
going
would you have to
forward.
change half of it and stretch that far to make your reference?
Yeah.
Come on.
That sounds like something that's illegal in all 50 states.
I mean,
Yeah,
just something like, here we go, dumping saddles. That would be easy.
And then trying to suggest that Karen is somehow holy.
And no, or either that or trying to suggest that whoever is giving her this two horses is both a bestiality enthusiast and also into incest.
Well,
Two horses,
wasn't
one
involved.
cup.
Eric Young
I mean,
was involved, so by extension,
right?
Orlando Jordan was there somewhere.
We did
Well-
not see the half of the horses.
Ah,
All right,
Oh,
rolling through this.
I don't know, Wilbur.
All right. I missed, sadly, the first half hour of the show, so I'm kind of leaning on some recaps written here to bring me up to speed on the first 30 minutes.
yeah, it was
Slower, Wilbur, slower. Tease me.
pretty much
Tease me, Wilbur.
began with like a little bit.
Jesus Christ, let's get on with this.
It began with a little bit more action than most of the impacts, which is just usually about 16 people talking in a ring. But this time it was just involved two people. AJ came down on top of the cage, which was still there, even though they weren't in Cincinnati. And anyone else can try to explain this?
Trying to explain TNA book?
I guess they were trying to take the cage down, but they're like, no, fuck it, let's leave it up.
In Cincinnati, they're in Florida.
Were they
Cage
back in the
teleport.
Impact zone again?
Yeah, they
I don't know. I
sent it
wasn't
through a
that.
NetherRealm portal.
God, it's
And already TNA has reduced us to bumbling incompetence, everybody.
It's their fault.
We need notes to get through this.
Russo's
Yeah.
just like, continuity, what's
Get
that?
through this, but notes is what we got, so.
It knocks you into a fucking coma where you're just sitting there drooling, staring at a wall. Like,
But yeah, either way, like AJ's on top of a cage. He comes down like from a pole, kind of like the way Shawn Michaels did, or
Well, it's like a
people
noose,
that-
and he's standing in it with his foot holding onto the rope.
Actually, he repels into it just like Kurt Angle did the other week, wasn't it?
That I did not remember. But I mean, trivial stuff. Yeah.
Why is
Sting just can't leave his fucking repelling equipment laying around in the rafters. Bad shit's gonna happen, the Hart family can tell you.
But 5 days after a fucking all-cage match pay-per-view, they still have the damn thing set up, and they went out of their way to add weapons to the inside of it.
Oh yes, conspicuous inside of the cage is strewn around are hardcore implements, including a Singapore cane, a trash can lid, a trash can.
What
Maybe a
really
steel
caught
chair.
my eye was the shepherd's hook hanging on the far side from the ramp.
That one I did not notice.
So apparently we have a white mage from Final Fantasy who needs her first of the game equipment, and that'll be her weapon.
Or maybe they looked at WWE and said, hey, look, Finley has a shillelagh. Let's get something sort of like a shillelagh.
Well, that was 3 years ago, so that's not right. Yeah.
But yeah, basically what AJ has to say is that, like, Bully Ray may have tried to finish him off. He didn't. But AJ is going to finish Bully Ray off, and that obviously brings Ray down to the ring, who challenges AJ. He says, like, I'm a man and you're just a little boy. And I like to play with I'm a warrior and you're a nobody.
And you know what though? I know they have time constraints because it's on television and everything, and maybe they edit it out in post taping, But how is Bully Ray just standing right back there behind the stage, ready to come out as soon as his name was said?
Well, it's like there's a scene in Mallrats where Brody's about to tear down with the fanboy, and then Steve Dave says, security, blows a whistle, and the guy's right there. It's the same kind of principle. It doesn't really matter. And with, like, I would give that a pass for any kind of wrestling program.
Yeah, except it's not trying to be a comedy like Mallrats.
But
it's unintentionally so.
Well, it's not a comedy even unintentionally.
Yeah,
it's
a question about which one uses more shit jokes at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, let's soldier on. We're going to be doing this all fucking night if we try to get through every single analytical point.
Yeah, you're right.
If
we try to apply logic to this, we'll just be sitting here all weekend, and I got shit to do.
There is no logic.
Basically, Brother Bubba Bully Ray.
Bibbidi bop.
He threatens to powerbomb AJ onto the concrete, and then like basically starts to walk out saying he has nothing left to prove to him. That doesn't stop Daniels, who runs out from the back and starts attacking Bully Ray. Throws him in the cage just before, who is it, Murphy or Gunner?
Gunner.
It's Gunner. Yeah, Gunner starts attacking Daniels, and and AJ like just starts wailing on Bully, like hits him with a garbage can, does the Pele kick to him. Kind of fun, like lays him out on a table, but Bully gets away and goes out of the cage. AJ threatens to jump off the cage onto him. No luck.
Dumb shit.
And where was the rest of Immortal? They sent one guy.
Where's the rest of 4chan?
Hulk Hogan couldn't make it fast enough.
Yeah, he couldn't, but, well, shit, there aren't that many of them left, are there?
Eric Bischoff was waiting for Hogan.
Still, I mean, where's Murphy and Rob Terry? Because they show right up in a second anyway, so...
Gunner and Murphy, no longer a tag team, apparently.
Yeah, what is the deal with Russo where he, likes breaking people up and randomly rearranging the tag teams for no reason? This reminds me of the shit he did in WCW during the New Blood Rising angle, where he had a perfectly good tag team with Mark Jindrak and Sean O'Hare. They're green, but they worked very well together. They complemented each other. And they were split up and made into two teams with O'Hare and Chuck Palumbo and Mark Jindrak and Sean Stasiak, neither one of which was anywhere near as good as the original Jindrak-O'Hare team. And it's like, why did you do that? Why would you do that? There's no point. Why break up Gunner and Murphy? Rob Terry's already established as kind of having his own character. Why randomly just switch him out into the tag team which had already been established? I don't get it. There's no reason for it.
Yeah, Russo has a revolving door fetish.
Yeah.
Which, just thinking of that in a visual kind of way is... we're not going to go any further.
He walks into the revolving door and he tenses for the right moment. He takes out his boner and wham!
Oh.
Then hopefully gets caught between the door and the wall.
Yeah, but then it swerves and it turns out that's something else that doesn't make sense.
But yeah, either way, on that note, Rob Terry and Murphy challenge. Well, the reason why they're a tag team is because Gunner has the TV belt, not that anyone knows that.
Yeah, but A, everybody's forgotten. B, I don't think he ever defends it. C, why did they put it on him in the first place?
Yeah, why not Rob Terry or, leave it on Abyss, who came back the next week after being gone for over a month and then not taking it off of him sooner?
Yeah, I mean, you're not pushing this guy because it's a geek title that nobody takes seriously.
No,
it doesn't make him look better. It makes the title look even worse, if that's possible, to have this jobber holding it.
basically, here's the story. Abyss was sidelined. He had the TV belt. Like, Russo's working on whatever the hell he's going to work on. Dixie comes in one day, and she's like, we still have that other title. Oh, shit! Give it to Gunner.
Let's put a tag team and a single guy in a triple threat match against each other. Oh, so the single guy will win it? No, they'll expect that.
Yeah, they basically wrote themselves into a corner.
Sometimes they do the logical cliche because it works. Like, whenever you have a War Games match, the heel always wins the coin toss for the numerical advantage because that makes sense, and it's hard to do it the other way.
Yeah.
Same shit here.
But, anyway, the match, Rob Terry and Murphy pretty much challenge Beer Money for a tag team title match because they have something to prove to Hulk Hogan. This match is nothing special. It's just Terry and Murphy kind of like really bringing the offense to Rude. Rude gets the hot tag, and they begin doing like all the double team stuff. At one point, I believe Robert Roode does a code breaker, which they seem to be shuffling around every one of the wrestlers.
Yeah, it was a stinger splash on one of them in the corner, and then he turns around and does a code breaker right on the other guy right after that.
Yeah, I remember Pope.
They're really getting into on the wagon with Kurt Angle's
well, not even
to other wrestlers.
They started using that as a signature move for Pope. Like, and it kind of made sense that he do it because he's using his knees.
He's kind of small.
Yeah, it fits his build, and he's got kind of that Muay Thai look to him,
Yeah.
But either way, the Beer Money do their DWI, and they get the pin.
Something else I want to mention here. How in this match, they started the match during the commercial break. Why do they do that? Like, a lot.
Yeah,
We can't skip any of the talking, but we will leave a lot of the match just unseen to you.
Yeah, why don't they just start the match, I don't know, at the beginning of when they come back from commercial?
Yeah, I mean, it's so important to see every fucking entrance, but not the rest.
And it makes even less sense here than it does on Raw because this is a taped show. They have control over that.
Yeah, exactly. So they are deliberately deciding to edit it fucking weird like that.
They could do something with the camera cuts on a rest hold and just make that shorter, but no, they're just gonna cut off.
Got to make it real, brother. Got to make it shooting.
Well, they rarely ever edit out anything. I mean, this isn't like SmackDown where they actually
shooting.
I mean, this isn't like SmackDown where they actually fiddle with the matches and make them look better.
Well, they do,
This is apparently, from everything I've seen, every fucking botch gets left in.
Yeah.
They do, but in terms of like just having ad hoc shit like this, I feel like SmackDown's been doing the same stuff. Like, but again, that's going to be for the next.
Is bad about the cut and commercial as soon as the match begins too, but not as bad because TNA
and they do a better job of showcasing They do a better job of showing the highlights of what was going on during the commercial in WWE.
Yeah, if anything happened during the commercial, they're like, and here's a replay. TNA never does that.
Well, if you're confused as to why this guy has the advantage when he was hurting before.
Yeah, here's where he was thrown into the ring steps. Is usually what happened.
Yeah.
But we move from that to something that probably should have a theme song on our show, a segment with Jeff Jarrett and Karen.
This sounds like it should have a theme song entirely comprised of tuba music.
Or Karen,
we don't have
Karen and Jarrett backstage segment. No, okay, we're not going to rip anyone off. But anyway, they're on a horse, motherfucker, on a horse. And
taking a carrot ride.
And
like,
Jeff is basically
if you've ever been to Central Park, you know what we're talking about.
Jeff basically says, Karen, what you did for me last night in lockdown. Wait, last night? Anyway. But yeah, he said what you did was great. Like, she's the queen of the mountain because to match his self-proclamation, which doesn't make any difference in the rest of the wrestling world from the indies to the WWE.
And of course, he's dressed like Brother Love for this entire thing, too.
Yeah, well, they're going to fuck up his suit later, so of course it's got to be completely white.
If you've ever seen Beetlejuice when, you know what, never mind that obscure reference. This doesn't deserve an obscure reference of that magnitude. Fuck it. Just saying that movie title, you should know what I'm talking about.
They were dressed like they were angels. Yes.
But yeah, I'm reading the report for this, and I don't think that this is how it went on when we saw it, but it says the horse stops and they get off. Really? I didn't know you could show that on TV. Anyway.
Wow.
We go from there to... no, actually, they have shown that on TV. It's where... in that hot tub, but we...
Insert your own Mr.
Yeah.
Hands jokes here.
But
Karen becomes Queen of Space Mountain.
All right, let's not fucking linger on this.
We cut from
There's
there.
more shit to get to
These
later.
jokes are way
Yes,
better
yes.
than anything you're going to hear.
Let's plow through the literal, figurative shit.
Pop through it, Wilbur.
And next, hey, it's Hulk Hogan.
Yes, with a styrofoam silver painted glitter tube.
Yeah.
Shockmaster?
Allegedly a steel pipe. It does look Shockmaster-esque. So he comes to the ring, and he says he wants RVD out here. RVD comes out, and Hogan says he's stupid and a jobber, and calls him a few fries short of a Happy Meal, brother. And says, you've always been a big fish in a little pond, or a little fish in a big pond, and that you've never accomplished anything, and your career has been mediocre at best.
WWE World Champion, so what does that make Hulk Hogan?
Yeah, Hogan doesn't seem to be working a delusional liar gimmick here. So,
Well, remember, those titles are fake.
Inaccurate. Yeah.
Remember, to Hogan, those titles are fake, so that doesn't...
Yeah, don't call RVD fake, though, as we'll see later.
Oh, what does he think about the ECW
that.
title? And that's a title Hogan didn't even hold.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Fucker.
Yeah,
Well, he never had
trying
the
to apply
original-
logic to it again. Let's just... Yeah, I'm
We
sorry.
got it. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and he was a TNA champion, which Hogan also hasn't been.
And Hogan orchestrated in the first place, but again, logic,
Just a backstab.
leave it at the door. Leave
That's
it.
how that makes sense.
So basically, he's bitching out RVD, in usual TNA fashion, burying him, saying you're a loser, you're nothing, nobody wants to watch you, people shouldn't watch you. Which is a great thing to say about one of your top baby faces.
That you're trying to push.
Here comes Sting, and Sting says, fuck you, just to prove he's a main eventer, I'm gonna have him main against me at fucking Sacrifice, the next pay-per-view, because somehow I signed a magic new contract that I'm sure they will completely forget about within like 2 weeks' time, where I can pick all my own challengers.
Yes, the contract was given to him by the network.
The network.
I mean, the network is their
the
faces.
network.
Network!
The Nexus. Wait, the network.
You mean, I don't know, Spike?
But yeah, the funny thing is, if
Insisting that he's being screwed by the network, and he wants to see this network face to face. It's like, yeah, I'm sure you could find there in the phone book. I mean, it's a big company.
Just look on the back of the computer and you'll find the Ethernet cord, and there you go. Just follow it.
But yeah, if you listen to this promo, like, Sting basically blew smoke up RVD's ass, and I mean, I'm not sure RVD would be so against that, but nonetheless, it was he pretty much just like
Usually not the end it goes in, but all right.
Yeah, he puckered the fuck up. Like,
I got it. If he wants to see the network, just go to the start menu, click My Computer. On the left side, click Network.
and Hogan.
Anyway, but somehow Hogan can't override that, but he can make matches tonight somehow. And he says that RVD has to wrestle against Abyss, and Sting has to take on Matt Hardy, and this cannot be denied. He has the power to do this.
Yeah, indeed.
Somehow.
Watch
Not the
Phoenix,
power to
brother.
Stop
You're not a main eventer, RVD. You're not a main eventer, brother. You want main eventers? Sting, you'll face Matt Hardy.
Oh.
Yeah. Isn't it
Well,
ironic? Used correctly. But, there was another thing, how, Hogan's wild reaction of, are you high too, Stinger? Are you smoking what he's been smoking? Because if so, give me some. Hogan, you've had enough problems, sir.
I need it for my back, brother.
No, about that line, the way Hogan said it made it sound like an inside joke.
He was almost skipping around like a little kid when he was saying that.
Yeah, really.
He's like, I made an innuendo, brother.
But and then another thing is, his new catchphrase he's trying to get over. Yin yang, yes, no, hide the ball, brother.
Really? He's trying to get that.
He
He
actually
said that like
says
6
that?
times.
Yeah, he's...
I noticed that he kept
Hide-
saying that.
Hide the ball, hide what ball?
We don't know. I think it's supposed to be a reference to the network doing all this stuff in a shadowy manner and not to his face. But, wow, that's a strange way to put it.
But yeah, after that, we have another backstage segment, this time involving Kurt Angle, and who probably is, as far as I know, has an AK strapped inside his shirt. He's looking for Jeff and Karen. Someone tells him that they're in a horse and carriage.
Likely to have a back brace and like a miniature body halo with cybernetic implants holding him together after that fucking match. This is only the next day.
He's more machine than human now.
But yeah, I'd actually laugh if Kurt Angle followed a gimmick where, like, remember when he took an axe to their wedding vow renewal?
Yeah.
Well, like, I wish he would just escalate every week until he has an RPG. He's like, "You want to fuck with me?"
Comes out with a flamethrower. Eventually, he just rides a tank into the arena.
Oh no, the WWE did it. WWE did it.
Yeah. But since when does that stop them? Makes them more likely to do it.
Well, they can't afford a tank, you see.
That is true. And then suddenly Kurt rides a Jeep painted green into the arena.
It's like last time they tried to do that, all they could bring was milk, cookies, Shane Douglas, and Tracy Brooks' boobs.
Yep.
Which that last is a valiant effort, but still. Yeah.
True. I mean, they got some Mosaic. They got to Mosaic Rey Mysterio.
Yes, it is a Chief Grade shirt. Anyway. And, so Kurt's basically like, "Hey, where's the Jarretts?" And some random recruited guy's like, they're in the parking lot. And Kurt stops and stares this guy down like he just called him a motherfucker. I mean, he was giving this hatred death stare to this random guy in the back. He's like, "In the parking lot?"
Like, how dare you answer my question that I inexplicably asked you, of all people?
Okay, and then walks off. It's one of those. This is our hero, ladies and gentlemen, a hair-trigger psychopath who's willing to suddenly threaten and intimidate all the random people who could possibly fight back.
But you know, this is the guy we're supposed to believe deserves custody of his kids.
So, anyway.
Children and chids.
Yeah, he goes off.
That post-editing, please. Can we?
Let's not. He goes off and he does that. Cut to Madison and Tara, and, you know, I don't agree with the idea that every woman on this show is a screeching harpy, but there are two I will agree with. One of those is Madison. She's screaming at Tara because it's apparently Tara's fault that Madison lost the title. Because I got nothing.
Believe me, like, I mean, people might hate me for this, but I love Madison on the mic.
She's great.
Her personality comes off very well.
If she was used in the same capacity that Sunny was used back in the 90s, she'd be a fine character.
Cool.
She would.
They just dial it down a little.
Just a valet.
Dial it down, keep her out of matches,
don't tell her to constantly scream every second. Because I know that wasn't her decision. Somebody told her to do that shit.
Later on, when they come down for her match, or when she's coming down for her match, her mannerisms are great. Like grabbing Tara by the arm and yanking her back and staring at her and shit.
You don't have to be doing it every single second. I mean,
if they're trying to make her like a snobby little prom queen kind of character, that's great.
Just a little subtlety. I know this is wrestling, but you can dial it down a little bit. It's okay. We'll still get it. And it won't look goofy.
No, you should probably be saying that to Anderson more, but hey.
Speaking of goofy, cut to Eric Young.
Oh yes, Eric Young feeding two horses. The two horses he calls Sid and Mongo.
That was my favorite part of the night. He said because Sid Mongo, they're the greatest horsemen ever.
So, Impact this week is.
The gimmick is he's retarded. So yeah.
You know, if they could just drop the retard part and just have him just be a goofy motherfucker, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, but it's because of severe brain damage. We all know that.
Yeah. That's why it doesn't work.
Although I remember the old days back before they tried to turn him heel for whatever reason.
And they
There's one hilarious skit with Kurt where Kurt threw him into the back of the limo and shut the door on him. You hear a pounding behind him, and Kurt's just like, childproof locks. He ain't getting out of there.
But anyway,
I
like how there's
it's because Russo has watched Seinfeld.
And apparently
That
there's supposed to be a bucket of beans back there that Eric can just get.
No, yeah, Eric basically he's feeding beans to the horses, and then
Hey,
Kurt
Kurt's
Angle's
like, hey, that make him shit a lot.
Yeah.
It's a bucket, Eric.
yeah, get a bucket, and then Eric goes away to get him, and before it cuts to the commercial, Kurt looks like distantly past the camera and goes, "Buckets."
Bucket.
A very
Like
again
3 or 4
unsubtle way of
times.
saying,
Shit.
"I've got an idea."
I have an idea. Knockout
Sarita,
tag titles: the Mexicans versus Madison and Tara.
Sarita and Rosita versus Madison, Rain, and Tara, and of course we're gonna drop the whole Velvet Sky Angela. We'll leave that. They focus on that later, but usually I thought they were the ones contending for the tag belts.
Yeah.
The very prestigious.
And now for a
Knockout
comment you
tag.
would find as enjoyable and as entertaining as this match. My vacuum is a Kentmore. It's upright, and it's got one of those little canisters that you take out and dump out and put back in. No bags. That's this match in a fucking nutshell, because
Well, actually,
first we have the fake Mexicans come out, all 4 people doing the evil heel, basically a filthy illegal alien wetback gimmick is what they settled with here. I mean, they are portraying offensive racist caricatures, and none of these people are actually Mexican.
yeah, and
Not one of them.
yeah, not only that.
We got 3 Americans and a Canadian.
Yeah, not only that, but the guy that they're with, Anarchia, he reminds me of Buff Bagwell, so that's offensive enough to me.
Yeah. So you got them, and hey, the match starts during the commercial break.
Oh,
We come
lovely.
back.
Again?
The match in progress again. So
And
Tara is
Madison
kicking
Rain.
ass, kicking the shit out of both of the Hispanic chicks, and Madison responds by screaming at her petulantly even more. I need, even with the stupidest heels, I need a little bit of consistency. I mean, wouldn't you be happy that your person is kicking their ass? Because it's not part of her character that she just can't be satisfied. If it is part of her character, it's something which has only become part of her character in like the last week.
Well, I
Can't,
that's
this is
just
another
it.
problem.
TNA has no
many other bad
sense of slow evolution, slow build. It's all just
lots of bad
instant
bookers
change.
have this problem, and Russo
Yeah.
is just one of them. But it's that, hey, out of nowhere. By the way, did you know that she was a kleptomaniac? We've never mentioned it before, but now her entire character is based on it. I mean, it's just shit like that. That pisses the audience off. That loses your audience.
Did you know
That's
Pope
because
is a bad
fuck
guy?
it.
Never
Yeah.
ever indicated that before, but this week Samojo says he's a bad guy, so he is.
yeah, even though the fact that he was one of the people who was essentially screwed by the bad guys during Bound for Glory, but we're getting back too far. They're not going to acknowledge it. Basically, because
Like, and people who've worked for Russo have commented on this. It's just like, oh, the people won't remember the stuff that we wrote to happen on our show before now.
3 months ago.
Yeah, or less.
But yeah, basically the match, like the most notable thing is Tara doing a Hurricane Rana to Rosita. And, like the way it ends is that for some reason, like, Madison starts bitching at Tara. Like, and then Hernandez distracts the ref and, like, Rosita, like, comes in, the illegal woman, and she, like, she starts attacking.
It wasn't really cheating, though. There was no reason to distract that ref for what they did. I mean, not even in a company where they did DQs and not just TNA. I mean, there was like no reason to do that.
But really, what I hate about like the way that they could take advantage of being heels like this Mexican America stable, especially from the Knockouts tag team side, is that they're surrounded to the ring by these huge fucking muscle bound people. How fair is that? Like, you never see that in any kind of Knockouts, Divas, whatever kind of match.
It was because I think they still have that fucking rule that they can't have man-on-woman violence.
Yeah, but like that, their presence almost threatens it. Like, they need to play that up, but they're not.
Well, that's the thing. They can't actually do anything. They can't put their hands on the women. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
they're
I mean,
just-
that one's
they're
not
just
TNA's
there.
fault. That's just Spike TV being stupid.
I gotcha.
Yeah. But then you also
Anyway.
And by the way, the finish is The finish is a clothesline, and Stan Hansen was not in this match, so thumbs down.
But you reminded me of something else. This is heel versus heel.
That
Yep.
also.
Nobody to cheer for.
Why would you care about this match?
We have
Yeah,
an
it's evil
over very
I know they're
Yeah.
teasing the Terra turn on Madison, but they're not there yet.
Holy, yeah, they're not
And-
doing a good job of it.
And shouldn't Madison be bitching about getting a rematch for the knockout single
see,
title?
That's another.
Yeah, they forgot about
And
that.
shouldn't
Mickey
Winter
was
and,
not even on the show
But
at all.
The whole heel
And
versus
shouldn't Winter be trying to get a rematch for their tag titles with her and Angelina, since that's what her driving force was to be?
Yeah, but storylines are more important than fucking titles,
It
brother.
is the storyline,
No,
though.
storylines are more important than essentially what you want to see out of pro wrestling. It's another Russo thing, where is the heel versus heel, where like they're all their separate characters, and heels sometimes get in the way of other heels, faces sometimes get in the way of other faces, and yet it pretty much skirts the entire point of being a draw, paying for something, because you want to see like a bad guy getting beat up by a face.
Well, that's
way to
Russo's
do-
little thing about, shades of gray. Characters aren't completely bad, completely good. So when you have heel versus heel, people will naturally cheer for the less evil of the two. But in this case, no, there isn't. There isn't anyone like that.
They're all evil. They're all bad.
Yeah, there's not any reason to like any of them. I mean,
In
heel
fiction-
versus heel can work. A great example being an old match, Jake Roberts versus Randy Savage from 1986 from Saturday Night's Main Event, in which the crowd all fucking hated Jake, but he was like the serious badass heel, as opposed to Savage, who was kind of a chicken shit at the time, and was sort of implied to be abusive towards Elizabeth. So
Undertaker
they're
versus
like,
Boston.
Hey, Snake, beat the fuck out of Macho Man. Yay! We usually don't like you, but go ahead.
But yeah, now as opposed to this situation where it's just like, hey, we're Mexican America, we hate all Americans, and we're going to prove it to you by beating up these guys that you hate anyway.
And
Yeah.
it just doesn't, if you really wanted to do it, make it an easy way to, cheer for the match and have people interested. At least have a face that's involved in like a triangle feud. Like, an example would be anytime there's a face champion and two heels are competing to be the number one contender, have the face champion on commentary why they have their number one contenders match, and have them like taunt at the champion throughout the match whenever they get the upper hand. There's an
Or
easy
even
way
as
to
the
do it.
referee or whatever.
Yeah. But
And not as the, Ken Anderson constantly interfering referee, but just, like, if any of you saw the match from pay-per-view in 98 where Steve Austin refereed a match between Undertaker and Kane, which is for the vacant belt that they'd screwed Austin out of, and Austin was basically just going out of his way to try and get them to destroy each other as hard as they could. To egg them on against each other. He's like handing them weapons and shit.
and then you have the problem of none of these heels have really done anything to really cement that I'm bad just because I'm bad, or I have this motivation for being bad. The whole basis for them being heels is they're obnoxious and annoying. And anything they do that could be construed as seriously bad, like running over Mickey with a motorcycle, it's so over the fucking top that you just can't take it seriously.
Yeah.
Just in the way they do it.
Yeah, it's like there's just no subtlety.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna run someone over with a vehicle, you have to show the vehicle hitting them. See, Steve Austin. I think they did that to John Cena once, where someone ran him over.
That was last year in Extreme Rules, or Over the Limit, where Batista. People said like, oh, he took John Cena out with a car, and he still John Cena went out of the way.
But you know what I'm saying. If you're gonna involve a vehicle hit and run kind of thing, show the collision.
Or do it like they did it with NWO and The Rock, where he was in an ambulance and they just fucking rammed a limo into it, which was look threatening as hell.
Yeah.
And yes, it was
or flipping Triple H off
JBL.
the
It was JBL who failed to run over Cena.
Yeah.
Although I remember that from the camera angle, you couldn't really tell if the car hit him or not.
Yeah. But
yeah,
it was
very
implied.
very basic filmmaking.
Yeah.
We're going out of our way to not talk about this next shit.
It's a show, don't tell. That's my
Oh
point.
dear.
And we can move on.
And
Oh, boy.
next shit, literally.
It's shitty shit.
Shit.
It's time for the crowning thing because, with the royal wedding coming up, that's hot. So, Jeff is amazing in how he's kind of amusing in all this horrible stuff he's put in. When he's just blathering about absolutely nothing, he's still kind of entertaining by himself.
I got to jump in right here before we get too far away from the comment. The royal wedding coming up. WWE's in England, and they already had severe overt references to that on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, well, they taped this on Monday. They didn't know. It makes them look second rate, like always, but that one wasn't strictly their fault.
No, but still, I'm still going to chalk it up there.
Fucking hell. It's a crowning ceremony, and he puts on the crown, and Karen does one thing to amuse me, which is she does the royal wave, where you just stick your arm up in the air and kind of rotate your hand back and forth.
Oh, you mean like Regal always did?
Yeah, that got a little...
Just twist your hand slowly at the wrist.
That got an almost audible chuckle out of me.
Oh, look at me, I'm the Queen of Space Mountain.
And then poop falls from the heavens and covers her.
And in lightning quick form that he has, Kurt Angle makes it from the rafters where he dumped the poop on him down to the ramp.
Yeah, unless he jumped down. I don't understand how the logistics of this worked.
They couldn't even have him just rope in on AJ's rope, which they already showed up there,
Or unless they got Eric Young to dump the shit.
Which still would have gone. It's like the old thing which always bugged me. When the lights go out, who's turning the lights out? It's not the wrestler who's in the ring when they come back on.
It's Sabu. It's Sabu! It's Sabu! Anyway.
So,
the Undertaker charges $15,000 to use his powers.
Yeah. And Kurt runs into the ring instantly after the shit drops. And by the way, Karen, if you've ever seen those really awful movies that Friedberg and Seltzer made, the spoof movies like Date Movie, Epic Movie, Meet the Spartans, all that shit, there's inevitably jokes in all of those where somebody's getting hosed down with something really icky, but they strangely don't try to move. They just stand there and let somebody keep peeing in their face or whatever. Same deal here. Karen realizes that she is being rained upon with feces and doesn't take a step to the side. She is locked in place. She even starts at one point to look like she wants to move, but it's like, oh yeah, I can't. I have to stay here and wait till it finishes falling.
Anyway,
so
dumping
in and gets a fucking angle slam on Jarrett onto the throne. The heavily padded throne.
Dumping shit on the owner of a company. Where have we seen that before?
Yeah.
Don't know.
She wasn't the owner, but still, poop.
Well,
never fun.
Jeff Jarrett.
Are you trying to market yourself directly to the 8-year-old boy demographic here, who shouldn't be watching at 11:30 at night or whenever the fuck this aired?
Yeah.
Kurt.
That happened.
Kurt
the shit
basically says that he fucking hates her, but he's not gonna put a finger on her. She's his kid's mother. Yeah. So he has someone else, and you could call her Mrs. Angle. Who is this?
So Shaka Khan's coming back, or Raka Khan?
Really? Oh, that's really the case.
No, I have no idea. Just she was his girlfriend. I hope it's not fucking Jenna Maraska. God, can you imagine the match that Jenna Maraska could have with Karen Angle?
She gave him half-ass slaps. That's awesome.
Oh, it'd be even better because Karen's not even half the worker that fucking Mrs. Booker is.
Someone get this man a Kenta Kobashi match so he settles down.
Yeah, I'm starting to see some cracks forming in Jingus. But yeah, Kurt says
he's decomposing like the witchblades on him.
But yeah, Kurt says all this, and then he has the from ear to ear grin as if you were Chris Benoit putting someone in a crossface after a bar fight.
No. He has a shit-eating grin.
See what you did there.
Right, Angle. All right.
And
by the way, why did he slam Jarrett onto the chair, because Jarrett landed and, like, barely got a little bit of the shit on his blazing white suit. Hey,
Yeah,
you got a guy in a
But
blazing
then
white
Kurt
suit.
falls over.
You got a
into
giant
the
puddle of
himself.
shit in front of you. If you're gonna do this, drop the guy into the giant puddle of shit. He goes, ow, and he sells, and he rolls around in it.
He sells
It's
the
not
big
fucking
bag
rocket
of
science
shit.
here. It's a poop
And-
joke.
What's even funnier, I even saw Angle at one point walk through the shit himself.
Yeah, he got it on
He had his
himself.
I don't care about
When
shit.
He slammed Jeff Jarrett onto the chair. He got back up and, after falling off the chair, into the shit. It's all over him.
But yeah, and actually,
Yeah, he landed in the shit, and the chair which Jarrett was in knocked over backwards, and Jarrett came up mostly clean.
Could this be Vince Russo's subtle poetic
No!
on his own writing?
Fuck no, it's not.
but
it's,
yeah,
it's
Not
covered in
even
shit.
his subconscious is that intelligent.
either way, word from our associate executive contributing producer, Duos Angel, like she guesses that Angle's woman might be someone that they're about to reveal like in the next 20 minutes. We'll get to her, but that would really seriously leave me with ill at ease.
Fuck, we've been
And
talking
I'll
for
give-
a
I'll
while.
give you
Let's
one
move
hint.
this shit on up forever.
Actually, I'll give you 2 hints. Boobs!
No, you should have just said I'll give you 2 hints and that's all.
Boobies. Boobies, boobies.
Mammary glands. Anyway, we cut to the back. Hogan's giving
Nursing.
Abyss a pep talk. Tells him to hide his face for some reason. And then Ken Anderson happens to be right there. Just, he's there. Hey. And Hogan, remarkably calm, goes over like, hey, do you know who this network guy is? And Anderson goes into a foaming at the mouth rage with one of his E-Fed promos, practically swallowing his gum. And, Hogan says something to the effect of, you are the only person I truly hate in the entire wrestling business.
Yeah.
What?
He also says, brother, if it was 10 years ago and 8 back surgeries ago, it would be much different.
Well, we are shooting.
Yeah, we're shooting ourselves in the foot.
Yeah, and the end. They spent like 10 minutes doing that, and they approximately we summed the entire thing up and left nothing out. So, now, Abyss versus Rob Van Dam. The first thing in this match, kick wham to RVD knocks out 2 of Abyss's teeth.
He's just bleeding heavily for the rest of the match.
Yeah, I mean, fucking Abyss, Mr. I sleep on thumbtacks at night, is like, that hurts, son of a bitch! You can see him checking it throughout the rest of the match. It throws him completely
Damn.
off.
I know I tried to murder you a bunch of months ago, but why'd you have to do that? That's so mean.
That was just uncalled for.
But yeah, RVD then kicks him pretty gingerly throughout the rest of the match.
No, he doesn't. He kept kicking him right in the fucking face.
Yeah, he just
I
kept
don't
on working that
disagree.
face.
He started getting
It's
getting
like
a
he
little
was
bit softer.
working the cut. It's like, hey, I'm gonna work your broken teeth now. Spin kick, spin kick, spin kick to the face.
And the result of all of this is Abyss had to go in for surgical reconstruction on his lower row of teeth. Not just an individual tooth, not a couple. The whole fucking row.
Yeah, he basically broke off a piece of his jaw, more or less.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rob. Nice to see that you've gotten, better working with those kicks since you've been doing them for 20 years.
It's shoot fighting, brother.
Yeah, and then Hogan distracts the referee. Abyss hits him with the pipe and hits a black hole slam. 1, 2, 3. The whole thing was like 3 minutes long.
That cardboard toilet paper tube.
Yeah, fucking Ron Dan Van.
It didn't even get used.
Oh yeah. It's not Rob Van Dam. It's not Rob Dam Van. It's Ron Van. according to THQ anyway.
Yeah, and somehow Rob Van Dam is in the 2011 version of Raw vs. SmackDown. God only knows the legalities of how that happened. But yeah, they just felt his
He and Greg Helms, as the Hurricane, are both involved in at least 2 of the Road to WrestleMania campaigns each.
As is Mickey James and Mike.
Oh, yeah,
Knox.
Mickey James is all over the damn place.
Yeah. And Mickey James, who was not on the show at all tonight. Nicely
Yeah,
done.
which is
I know
a
she's hurt.
goddamn
but
shame.
Jesus, the other people
No
who were here.
hardcore country?
And Samoa Joe, no show. Pope, no show. I mean, they've got so many fucking people. They literally cannot possibly get them all on this program every week.
What do you mean they left Okado off the show? That guy
But
equals
the entire
Renegades.
X division, not there. No Young Bucks, no Chris Sabin, no Red.
That's because
I
their
mean,
entire X division
no
pretty much
Kendrick.
quit this week.
And no Jay Lethal.
Yeah.
But actually, something that I feel is de-emphasized when we were chatting and watching the shows, and also, like, because I didn't really notice a lot of buzz about this, but we go from the match to a backstage segment with Sting, where he says that he wants Jeff Hardy back, because he's one of the best.
What?
That's what he said.
What?
That's what he said.
What?
That's what he said.
No, this isn't an Austin what. It's a flat what. You have a period at the end of it. What?
I got nothing. I don't want to go into this. Noli went into it in great detail for the Victory Road stuff.
Oh, and before
everyone
that, by the way, something we missed at the end of the last segment. Rob Van Dam and Abyss go to beat up RVD more, and who makes the save but Crimson? Excuse me? Are you a part of the storyline? Have you introduced yourself, sir?
I guess he is now.
Security, we have somebody in the building who's some fan.
Oh, wait.
In the ring.
I'm actually really sorry I glossed over that, because Crimson gave the fucking most sorry excuse for a spear I've ever seen. And people, like, call, like, Edge's spear, like, a glorified hug. Like, oh. He did it worse than Vicky Guerrero.
He was pretty much helping Abyss sit down.
Well, you've got a guy who's 7 feet tall and 300 pounds. Don't make him use the spear! It does not work for somebody with that body type.
It's someone.
Imagine Kevin Nash spearing somebody, or Undertaker.
Well, if Kevin Nash speared someone, then the giver would come out of that a lot worse.
He would injure himself.
Crimson is the one who killed Abyss. We're being reminded. We have a continuity script girl here on DarkMatch, and she is helping us out. Crimson was the one who murdered Abyss before his miraculous resurrection, but they dropped that angle months ago. And
yeah, they've been having him tag with Scott Steiner, which apparently as of tonight they've dropped, and they're going back to that other one.
Huh? Which
yeah,
leads us into our
you
next
can't
segment.
expect TNA to keep the story arc that long.
Yeah. Leads us into our next segment. Speaking of people who are tall and not that great. I mean, Crimson's one thing, because that is a guy who's literally been wrestling for less than 2 years. In Nashville, on an indie show in 2009, announced one of his very first matches ever, and this was like October of 2009. So he's very young, very green, he's still learning. This next tall guy has no excuse for why he still sucks like he does. Matt Morgan.
Oh,
wait, Matt Hardy's
how many fucking years? Oh god.
We forgot about this, and this is actually just funny to riff on, because Matt Hardy, like, you can't be like, oh, this guy is like really making a fool out of himself. This guy's making a fool out of himself. But yeah, Matt Hardy has Jeff Hardy's TNA World Title, which good way to pimp yourself like that. Yep. People will really appreciate you.
Yeah,
Jeff Hardy is something that I will never win. I will never have a world title.
So he's basically lowered himself to Eric Young's level without the head injury excuse.
So, anyway, Matt Morgan, I'd rather watch Matt Hardy than Matt Morgan. Nothing about this guy interests me. He is the world's most ordinary fucking vanilla wrestler, stretched a foot taller.
And
DNA of TNA.
Yeah, with the voice of a gay barber, according to some people.
Yeah, and with some of the worst fucking nicknames and catchphrases. The DNA of TNA, he's the Blueprint. Can you imagine that, ladies and gentlemen, the World Heavyweight Champion, the Blueprint!
Well, actually, I think that was all Jim Cornette's thing. Like,
sometimes he has really stupid ideas.
Yeah, for anyone, like, Cornette showed, like, a lot of faith in the guy. Like, he really thinks that WWE fumbled the ball, and who the fuck's dog is that?
Who the fuck brought a dog to the studio?
Okay, who brought the dog?
Ellie.
Nobody here's seen Ghostbusters. Fuck.
I've seen. That's why I laughed, man. I love that movie.
Matt Morgan.
I got denied entry to a nightclub because I was wearing a Ghostbusters T-shirt last summer.
And someone better get rid of it because No Leaf's he's threatening to kick the dog in the skull.
Oh no!
He's gonna pull an Orton on the dog.
Yeah.
I'm sure my dog will be happy to chew No Leaf's face off.
Oh, it's
hiding back in
come
Michael's
on,
kitchen.
man. It's a
But
dog.
anyway, we gotta get through this fucking Matt Morgan segment, guys. I know we don't wanna, but
Well, basically, to me, it sounds like blah 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 blah
yeah,
blah 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 blah
it's
blah
got a
blah.
fight noise. He said he wanted a title shot.
Yeah.
And then Scott Steiner comes out and has some of the most inexplicable lines that I've ever heard Scott Steiner say.
These were fucking awesome.
If I had your DNA, I'd kill myself. Which is like, wait, if you were a foot taller, you'd, alright, and in great shape, and not, incredibly banged up with a bad back and everything else you got, Steiner.
No, this is what Scott Steiner says exactly.
And then he says, yes, go ahead.
I'd shoot myself, and then I'd hang myself.
Yes, he would end his own life with suicide, and then his
Suicide.
body would somehow commence to auto-asphyxiation. I know I said that 100 times wrong. I don't care. Yeah, and then Morgan's like, wait. After Steiner's running him down and saying, and by the way, I'm going to fuck your girlfriend. And Morgan's like, I respect that, and I respect you, Mr. Steiner. He's on the Scott's cock for a few minutes.
Inexplicable heel turn by Scott Steiner.
And then Steiner's like, okay, and kicks his ass. The end.
You know, it could have worked if he had actually sold the whole "I respect you" part of his of the promo as like being sincerely sarcastic and overblown, like just patronizing the shit out of Scott Steiner, being so threatening.
Yeah.
But he didn't. He actually
Just
came
like,
out sincere.
Hey, we need another heel. Hey, let's turn Scott Steiner.
Because we don't have enough heels in this company.
Back. Like,
Every tag team in this business is a heel.
And admittedly, Steiner works much better as a heel than a face, but still. It's like,
I don't know about that.
well, it's like, the problem is you have to have some baby faces that he can, I mean, if he's a heel, if he is a baby face, he has to have some heels that he can just go out there and throw the fuck around and completely destroy.
They have the X
And
Division.
the kind of guys who you want to see their asses get kicked, and oh shit, here's Scott Steiner, they're finally gonna get what's theirs. TNA doesn't have a lot of little heels like that.
So how long until he joins Immortal?
Yeah, I'd give it about a month and a half at best.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
So,
Yeah,
we have
Scott Steiner, he doesn't seem to have any rhyme or reason as to whose side he joins. He just does what he wants.
It just depends on what the
Quite
mix of
bad.
steroids stuff makes him do.
allegedly.
All he needs is his chainmail, his bicep implants, his suplexes, and he's set.
Yeah.
Tell that to Triple H.
So next, we're on to a promo with a woman that I literally had no idea who the fuck this was until I was told later. Apparently it's Miss Tessmacher saying that I'm coming back, bitches.
She's after, yeah. Going for the
Insert
knockout
Scott
title.
Hall doing his finger wiggling, oh, I'm so scared, right here.
Okay. I think in honor of this, we got to go around and give our best Miss Tessmacher nicknames. Who wants to start?
Miss Taskmaster.
That's not a good. She's gonna get strangled by someone.
Christopher Sash.
God, dude, Jesus.
Oh my God.
We can't get a single show without a Benoit joke. God,
I already
damn.
threw out two. I don't see you guys trying.
You already referenced Owen Hart on this show. Can we please?
All right, Miss Teats Milker.
Digi-Fox?
Yeah, I think that was the best one.
Okay, Miss Tit Machina.
Okay.
Well, they were not. They were artificial, most likely, and not born of a woman. So,
All right. I'll go ahead and say Miss Take a Bounce.
Miss Cocksucker. There we go. Let's just get completely fucking brutal and ugly with it.
Let's get honest here.
Uh-oh, Stephanie's saying something.
All right.
Completed her training with Lacey Von Erich, and she is ready to take the Knockouts division to the next level.
She's taken her erotic special interest, huffing and puffing female wrestling porn training.
From extreme expose,
training hard and ultimate surrender. Now she's back.
To Lacey Von Erich's greatest student.
Okay, we've now gone on much longer than the fucking segment. Moving on, god damn it, more knockouts. Velvet and Winter. Velvet is saying, I know you're drugging her, and I was going to call the cops, but then decided not to for no clearly explained reason. And Winter's like, oh really? You're a bitch. And then Angelina jumps Velvet from behind, and that's basically the entire thing. In mid-ass kicking, Velvet's like, why are you doing this?
Oh, yeah. That reminded me of...
That wasn't in reference to the asking. That was in reference to her dressing like Kesha.
And Jingus, have you ever seen the movie, what's that called, Body Double?
The Brian De Palma flick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when, like, the main character's in the grave and that big Indian guy is strangling him, he pulls off the guy's, like, fake skin and sees the character, and he's like, Sam! That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
Just that brief moment of being able to talk quite clearly despite being strangled.
Yeah.
Furthermore, we're having a heel turn take place in a backstage segment.
Does it count as a heel turn when she's being drugged and date raped and etc.?
It's a shade of gray.
You know, that is not a video I would not want to see. But we could cut that one out. Cut it out.
We're not cutting that one out. If we're keeping my bad joke from earlier in there, we're keeping that one in there.
Our continuity girl, Jules, brings up a good question. Why is Winter always facing away from the camera?
I don't know why, but I noticed that too.
We could see shit in this one. It was like Aliens vs. Predator Requiem was better lit than this fucking thing was.
Well, because she comes from the
goddamn thing.
She comes from the same race of species as Surge.
Yeah. They're very camera shy.
She's pretty much the Ezekiel Jackson of the TNA brand.
Except he has a beautiful back of head.
The camera work's got to be shooting, brother.
Yeah.
It's got to be
like
real.
in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, he's going back through his dream for when he spotted Elijah Wood briefly at one point, but he only saw the back of his head, so when he tries to turn it around, he's always just looking at the back of him.
They got that from The Simpsons.
He did?
Yeah. The
Simpsons did it.
The one where Homer eats that pepper.
That's right. Find your soulmate, Homer. What? I mean, ruff, damn straight.
Find your soulmate, Homer.
Okay, main event time. Matt Hardy versus Sting.
Dun, 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 dun.
Not much of an event.
I mean, it is better than I would have expected out of Matt Hardy and Sting. They did all right.
It's not the main title.
I mean, Sting, I'm shocked that he could do an entire relatively long singles match with as bad as physical shape as he's said to be in. And Matt, not always the most consistent of performers, but they did perfectly well.
He did show up tonight. He did.
I'll take it.
But,
hey, it was a wrestling match on which went longer than 5 minutes and ended cleanly, and the right guy went over.
So this is Victory Road for you guys.
Stupid. So, yeah.
This is the Victory Road match.
Take our fucking wrestling and work rate and intelligence where we could get it. They did the right thing here.
Yep.
And then Ken Anderson comes out and kicks both their asses.
Because I'm an asshole.
I realized where Sting got his ring jackets from recently.
Because
the one he came out in this week, the black one with the flames on it. If you go to the Spoonie forums, Spoonie experiment forums, and then there was the time thread on the most recent page, as of right now anyway. There's a video of Sting in a tag match, and when he comes out, he's wearing that jacket, but it's Venice Beach, blonde hair, flat top Sting. But he's wearing that black jacket.
Recycling 20-year-old outfits.
Yeah, he's going throwback with this.
Everything that's old is new again.
Yeah. That's what it all is.
So that happened. And then we have our usual little random promos that they're always ending the show with now.
Yeah.
Which I'm not
no
sure
one
if I
wants
like.
to go out on that high note of a climactic battle between good and evil.
Yeah, I know it's a cliche to go out with like with either one of the feud persons standing triumphantly over the unconscious body of the other one, or one's in the ring, one's on the ramp, and they're staring at each other. I know it's a terrible cliche to end with either one of those, but
Works.
Yeah, it works. And why these promos? I don't get it. Is this Is this Spike TV saying, "Hey, make sure you change the channel at 9:58"? Jesus Christ!
Bad dog, bad.
Quiet down.
Find your soulmate, Digi-Fox.
So the dog barking was more articulate than some of these promos. We had Karen screaming and screaming and screaming, and Jeff is getting slammed onto a cushy chair cushion like he's been shot in the back. I mean, he is like doubled over on the floor.
And she's just yelling at him like it's all about her, and he's finally getting this look on his face like,
yeah.
bitch.
And Jeff's like, how many times do I have to beat Angle?
She's basically yelling at him like Akane yells at Ranma, like he was the cause of her having shit dumped on her.
This is bullshit! No, it's clearly horse.
Jarrett has actually, when you think about it, been like completely right in this feud. He's beaten Angle every single time that they've had a match together.
He tried to offer a truce. He's been really good
and
to
Angle
Kurt's kids.
Stuff.
He took his victory over Kurt and turned it into a gift to Kurt's kids.
He's just stupid enough to keep having these celebration ceremonies at the place where they and Kurt work together. Because this is the second one in a row. I mean, first they had the marriage renewal vow thingy, and now this.
Yeah, twice.
Within a month. Can we please just, fast forward like 3 years from now and just go ahead and have that main event now at Sacrifice and have it be Angle and Jarrett versus Karen? Please.
And then we had Anderson saying
Lumberjack match with the
something,
kids around the ring.
Hogan saying something, and Sting saying something, and frankly, I don't remember a fucking word they said.
It ends soap opera style.
So, yeah, that was Impact, everybody.
It was fairly forgettable, except for the shit part.
Yeah, Wilbur. God damn.
And this was like a relatively good on the Impact curve. Yeah. As Impacts go, this is solid 7 out of 10.
It definitely had a much better distribution
Makes it the worst wrestling show on this week by a mile.
Yeah, it definitely had a better balance of wrestling and promo segments. Like like I said, the first segment between Bully AJ and Daniels it wasn't too much talking about bullshit. Like it was a face challenging a heel.
There's action. Bullshit quota for the week.
Yeah, well.
Well, it's going to take a while to get the smell off her dress.
Oh, come on, it was
how much money do you think that they spent, by the way, on like renting horses and buying brand new, nice, expensive outfits and a throne and a fucking red carpet and then dumping poo on all of them? Hey, what do you think? 20 grand,
really
50 grand, just basically thrown into a barrel and burned?
Pretty much.
I mean, shit, you could have hired 16 X Division guys for an entire year for that much money.
Well, in their defense, I think that might have been the wedding dress she was wearing.
Or 50 knockouts.
Yeah, what they did was they used some of the knockouts paycheck funds.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Daphne. We can't pay for all of your fucking medical bills because we have to pay for shit.
Look at it this way, ladies. We need the money for props. And if you eat, you're just going to get unattractive and we'd have to fire you anyway.
Yeah. You should thank us for helping keeping you skinny.
Jesus.
Fucking company. I mean, even Irving Mushnick, if you know who that is, and if you don't worry, it's not important. But if you do, he recently wrote a column entitled, "It's Official, TNA is Always Worse Than WWE," which is interesting because he's literally the biggest critic of the WWE in the entire fucking universe, to the point of, Benoit conspiracy theories.
We're converting
that
people.
Guy thinks that TNA is worse.
I still stand on the conspiracy that TNA was created just to drive people towards WWE.
Yeah, Russo was a deep sleeper cell operative for many years.
I think Hogan, and Bischoff are, actually. When there's
not
no one
Bischoff.
else.
Maybe Bischoff now, but I doubt Bischoff. Hogan, maybe. Russo, it's the most logical explanation.
Anyway.
We have to end it on a different note than we usually do, because as it happens, Jay Lethal was just released from his contract. It expired and it wasn't renewed, or they didn't bring him back, or whatever the hell it was.
Well, we're done.
But we're here to tell you, Jay Lethal. We're here to tell you, Jay Lethal, before we do this, that fuck you. You have to be on the air. You have to get screen time or not screen time to be on the fucking dark match. You motherfucker! Look what you fucking did to us.
Dude,
all your fault.
He just turned 26. They fired him pretty much on his birthday too. Go to Florida Championship Wrestling and get a contract and get on Raw or something, man.
Because we love you, you jerk.
Yeah.
Well, not anymore.
Yeah, you deserve more screen time than you get. Let's just put it that way.
NXT, maybe?
But since you don't have an opportunity to be on TV by virtue of not having a contract, we have to change. A long-standing tradition of the last, 3 months. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time tonight, we're going to sign off with what gets more screen time than Desmond Wolfe.
Never mind that shit. Here comes Mongo gets more screen time than Desmond Wolfe.
Miss Nip Knocker gets more screen time than Desmond Wolfe.
I would say a bucket of diuretic horse shit gets more screen time than Desmond Wolfe. And that's low. That's hitting a new low.
Gunner's belt gets more screen time than Desmond Wolfe. And
it didn't get any screen time this week. I'm Christopher Says.
Yeah. Jeff Hardy's belt gets more screen time.
It's a good sign.
Desmond Wolfe.
You ruined it.
You did.
We were flowing.
You bastard. All right. Maybe we'll
rewind. Take two.
Want to do retake on that one?
Nah.
Fine.
Yeah, let's just get this the fuck over with. God damn, I hate this show.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to DarkMatch. I am TFS.
I'm Digi-Fox.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Dark. Shut up, we're going to take 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, like the end of an Argento movie, you've been listening to...
I'm Tiefus, that's Christopher Says, that's Digi-Fox, and that's Jingus. Good night. This is DarkMatch. We'll see you tomorrow.
I'm Clive Anderson saying good night, good night.
Fuck this company.